This hangout on air is now live, everybody. I might have to start the Facebook one over again. For some reason, it's not working properly. Let me try this again. Sorry. Ah. We're about to get started, everybody. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Live post. Live raw ice. Raw ice cream food demo, exclamation point. It is going to be off the hook. Oops. Just wait. I'm setting up Facebook Live right now. We're about to make the best raw ice cream in the world. I'm just setting up my Facebook feed here. Bam. All right. You guys ready for a big party? I know I am. Let's see here. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, this evening, is make the best raw ice cream ever made in the raw foods movement. Guaranteed. It's guaranteed. I made some earlier today, and I tested out some low glycemic options. And everybody couldn't believe the texture. They couldn't believe how it was like professional real ice cream. This isn't like banana ice cream that you just put through a champion juicer. This is real, legitimate, raw vegan ice cream. And what we're gonna do today in this raw food hangout is go through exactly how to make this. And we're gonna make many different flavors. I know a lot of people are into low glycemic options, because we've got both. We've got some that are like crazy high glycemic, and then some that are extremely low glycemic. And it's out of control. My friend, who, how do I see? Okay, cool. Just seeing if I can find a way to look at all the questions here. I got a new setup here. Okay, my friend used to make raw ice cream on a professional level. He would sell pints of them at the Ojai farmer's market. And everybody loved it, and he taught me the recipe. He's one of my best friends. So we are about to go live and make all of this. So let's take a look. Make sure everything's functioning properly with the new setup. Okay. Okay, so you can ask questions because there's gonna be certain downtime while I blend and strain through a nut milk bag and stuff like that. And while I'm doing those types of things, we can, I can answer some questions. You can ask questions news.therawfoodworld.com/live or my Facebook page. It's being played on in both areas. I've got 2 cameras here, one for Facebook and stuff like that. Okay, so what do you guys want first? High glycemic, low glycemic. The original was high glycemic, and then I kind of just altered it. And you know what? Maybe what we could do right now, I haven't had dinner again, so we're gonna have a big party also. Is I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if it's completely frozen yet, but I'm gonna break out the high glycemic and the low glycemic ones right now that I made. And then we're about to make a bunch more. Ooh, I need the kuma powder. I wanna try the kuma one. The kuma powder is a superfood that is really good for blood pressure and things like this. It's low glycemic and it tastes like shortbread. It's almost like a vanilla-y type thing. So I was thinking of doing one with lucuma. But let me go get the ice cream that we have here. What we have here is some that I made earlier today. We've got a low glycemic chocolate, but it's not real chocolate, it's carob. And we're gonna make this one live in just a minute. We're gonna make both of these. And then we've got a, oh man. This is like real ice cream here. This is no joke. You guys. Look at this. This shouldn't be allowed. 100% raw vegan ice cream right here. Look at that. We'll do Facebook first, and then we're doing this right here. Oh man. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done the high glycemic one first, because I'm about to taste the low glycemic one. I made this earlier today, this morning. This is, oh man. This is low glycemic. Chocolate, but without chocolate, it's really carob. Let's taste this. No way. This tastes like ice cream. Chocolate ice cream without even chocolate in it. We're gonna make this right now. That's ridiculous. This is my dinner. Look at that. This is like pure chocolate, ice cream. Oh yeah. You're not gonna believe this. This is low glycemic right here. All right. Now I can see why the girls ate like half the tub in like 2 hours. All right. The crazy part about this one is it's low glycemic and it tastes like sweet somehow. Okay. I think we're gonna go with low glycemic. We're gonna make that right now. I'm gonna keep this out for a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. Dude, I thought they were crazy. Like, all right, that's good. We're gonna make it now. Here we go. I was thinking about having some chocolate, but I ate way too much last week in the last hangout, and it tastes just like chocolate, guys. We are about to make the best ice cream in the world. This is good because the people are coming in a little bit later. So what I have here, I made this earlier today, we're about to make it right now, is a raw vegan ice cream, as you guys just watch me eat, that is professional. It is not like banana ice cream. This is like legitimate chocolate ice cream without chocolate. Here. You can use chocolate if you want, but there's no need to. This, and stop eating it. Okay, here we go. Enough monkeying around. I'm going to make this raw ice cream for you guys. All right. I can control myself. Okay, so the recipe right here. Enrique Candido, person who made pints of ice, Ojai, did extremely well with it. Everybody loved it, and I'm just like altering the recipe here. Thank world. You put it in here, then turn it around, and voila! You can drink it. Ooh, that's good. What you need to do is put 3.5 cups of coconut water in here. That was pretty cool. Let me go. I actually have coconut water already taken out. I just wanted to show you how I open a coconut. I don't think I have enough because I want to make like 3 different flavors. So this was done earlier today. What we need is 3.5 cups. Let me get my Pyrex things right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. For those of you that are just tuning in, this is the raw ice cream we're about to make. This is strictly just for showing you guys. No raw chocolate, no chocolate ice cream. You guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. I can't believe it. This is like this is like real texture ice cream right here. Like, this is no banana ice cream. Here we go. So what we do, oh, I can't stop eating it. We take 3.5 cups of coconut water. Okay. And you put it in the blender. Okay, once you do that, you take your spoon and you take some more of the best raw ice cream on the planet. And you get it. Kind of like that. I completely understand where everyone's coming from now. Okay. Why they can't stop eating it. And here we go. So we got 3.5 cups of coconut water. If you're using the Thai coconuts, they're more high glycemic than these green ones, which is good for the purpose of sweetening up the ice cream. And what I'm doing is I'm just throwing this coconut water in here. So we have enough to make many flavors of ice cream today. Bam. Sweet. The next step. Love your hair. Thank you. Okay. Hey, Crystal, maybe you can Skype me the Facebook questions. I mean, Skype them to me. Oh, it's my whatever. I'm just gonna make the recipe. Okay, so the first step is to put 3.5 cups of coconut water right. These are the both bags of almonds that I have. We have our, what I'm going to do. I know people want exact measurements, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put 3 spoonfuls. You could do about 3/4 to a cup. 3/4 of a cup. You put that in there. Next. This is gold. Okay, so what you're had agave nectar in. And there's again, this is the ice cream. It doesn't have gluten in it. There. It's so good. I'm making this for you right now. A few viewers because I just don't stop eating. But you know when you can't control yourself when you're eating? I'm going through that right now. So please excuse me. Okay, so 1/4 cup of agave is what you would add to this mixture right here. I can't stand technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so now I got you on Skype, Crystal. Don't you have to soak the almonds before? No? We're about to blend them to pieces. This whole thing about phytic acid, there's clinical studies that showed that it blocked absorption of certain minerals only in the meal that you're eating with that food. But also, phytic acid is known to be a very powerful antioxidant. And it's really good for colon cancer and kidney disease and other things like that. But anyways, I believe when you like blend it to pieces like we're about to, the phytic acid is gone. Plus, we're going to be straining out the almonds. So it's no issue whatsoever. I do have almonds soaking right there. I'm not a big fan of soaking almonds and nuts and stuff like that, but my daughter likes it, so. I don't really eat nuts. I eat nut butters, and we stone grind them. I'm certain that gets rid of the phytic acid. Okay, so here we go. You could put 1/4 cup of agave, or something like coconut nectar, or something like a portocarpus honey straight from the national forest that we have here. We have bees over there. This is the best honey in the world. We don't sell it. We do at the retreat, but that's about it. We actually, our raw food retreat in March just sold out. We actually have 1 room left, or a half of a room, if you want to share. I'm not 100% sure though. I gotta look. I think we have 1 room left. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is make the low glycemic ice cream that I can't control myself. I can't stop eating it right here. So I didn't use agave or coconut nectar, or you can use coconut crystals, which is right here. Good. But what we're doing is this low glycemic option. So what it says to do is 1/4 cup of agave. So what I'm going to do instead is take 1/4 cup of mesquite powder and a little bit of carob on top of that. So here's the mesquite powder. Mesquite powder is another superfood. It's probably one of my favorite as an ingredient in many chocolatiers use it. Many raw food raw chocolate, or even raw chocolate, raw food eaters who make raw bars use mesquite and lacrymal a lot because it's a really good tasting superfood and it's very low glycemic but sweet at the same time. So here's the deal real quick. Mesquite powder, oh, it smells so good. Mesquite powder is my favorite sweetener because it has like, it's not even sugar. Total carbohydrates is 2 grams. So this is like a food. All this is a mesquite from it's a pod from a tree. Now, many people are addicted to refined sugar. And so maybe for the majority of people, if they were to eat this, it doesn't really taste like sugar. But what you could do is the best way to get off of refined sugar is to simply cut it completely for 2 weeks. And once you cut it completely for 2 weeks, and then you start eating it again, You've completely reset yourself. And then your body, when you start eating the refined sugar again, you're like, oh my goodness, it's like way too sweet. You've reset yourself. And then usually what people do after they do that for 2 weeks is they either eliminate it completely or lower the amount they do on an ongoing basis until they build up again and they're eating it like crazy again. But if you were to cut it out completely for 2 weeks and then eat something like this, you would think this tastes like sugar. So like one of the best things we could do is change our taste buds around. And when we improve our diets, it kind of just automatically happens. Like you don't think you can stop eating McDonald's and In-N-Out burgers and stuff like that. But once you start doing it and you reset your taste buds, stuff like that, everything else is good. I've been on a raw food diet for 20 years. And like, this is amazing. Like, anyways. So what we're doing is drinking 1/4 cup of mesquite powder. It's a superfood, 2 grams of carbohydrates. We're just throwing this in there instead of agave. And it tastes like this. Anyways, we're gonna make a high glycemic version too. All right. So what we're gonna do also, since agave and these other sweeteners are really dense, we're taking carob powder. We do have mesquite powder on our website. The carob powder we are out of. They're not making anymore, but we found a new source and I got some samples. It would make this even taste better. It is like silky, fine, dark chocolate tasting. We're not gonna have it for another 2 to 4 weeks. You can go to our website at therawfoodworld.com and join our newsletter list, and you'll be added to our newsletter, and you'll be notified when we get this in. But no, all the products on our website are pretty much 100% raw. However, there are a select handful of products that aren't raw, because it's actually more damaging to the human body to be in a raw state than not raw state. For example, carob powder. If you were to eat raw carob powder, you'd be completely messed up. Sacha inchi seeds. If you were to eat a sacha inchi seed raw, like I did once, I would never do it again. Your mouth all of a sudden like twists, and it's like a stringent thing. You're like, it's insane. But also like gelatinized maca and stuff like this. Anyways, when a product like this is not raw, it doesn't become damaging to the body. All this is a carob pod. So what we're doing right now is putting 1/8 of a cup of that into the coconut water. So what we have in here right now is 3.5 cups of coconut water, 1/4 cup of mesquite, and 1/8 of a cup of carob powder. And then what we're gonna add, and 3 small handfuls of almonds, which is about 3/4 of a cup to a cup. And then what we're gonna add, if we were doing the high glycemic option, we would put 3 dates in. But we're not doing that right now. We're doing the low glycemic right now. So the next step is to blend this really well. Like that. And like that. Bang. Boom. Make sure I have everything in there. You guys ready? And we blend away. All right, let's see what kind of questions we got here. Someone's asking, what can they substitute the nuts for because they're allergic to nuts? You are in so luck because this could be made without any nuts. I'm going to give you different options. Just don't put the almonds in at that point, and you're still good. The next step after this is to strain it in a nut milk bag. So we're taking the almonds out anyways. It's kind of like almond milk with all these other ingredients. And the next question is agave raw. Okay. No, agave is not raw. We've got coconut sugar here. Coconut syrup, nectar, and coconut crystals. The company says that it's raw, but I don't necessarily know 100% if it's raw. I don't know if it's actually possible to do that with coconut sap. But anyways, it's kind of like you've got refined sugar is the worst, white table sugar. And then you can improve by doing things like, this would be a very good transition sugar. It's coconut sugar. And then after that, what I have here is honey. We know this is raw. This is like a really good sweetener. And it's enzymatic, and we all know about honey, it's really good for you. Anyways, but what I'm doing is I'm using raw mesquite powder and carob powder. As mesquite powder is the sweetener here. There's like no sugar in this practically. Okay, anyways. Ask your questions, because I gotta strain it in the nut milk bag in a minute. It's gonna take a minute to do that. Let's see if I can. Who's asking me all the questions here about raw? We're just gonna get down to the nitty gritty here. People are asking, is raw cacao, can you have raw cacao? We're gonna talk about that in a second. And so we're saying, wait, is gelatinized maca, is raw maca better than cooked maca, or the opposite? We have both raw maca and gelatinized maca. The gelatinized maca is the maca that is not raw on our website. Let's go for another couple seconds, and we're gonna talk about raw right now. I need another blender. Okay, so you can either get raw maca or gelatinized maca, and gelatinized maca is put through like a pressurized process to where they take out the starch and the sugars, while the raw has all that stuff intact. It's not a raw product anymore, but it depends what you're trying to use the maca for, whether you want the raw or the gelatinized. There's many clinical studies done on maca. We have all three colors. Oh, that's what I want to put. This is actually black gelatinized maca. Black is like the cream of the crop. It tastes the best. I'm going to taste some right now, as a matter of fact. It almost has like a, I'll tell you what the flavor's like. On Wikipedia, it says it has the strongest health benefits. There have been clinical studies. Our black gelatinized maca, you can't get that anywhere. They did it against red and yellow and black had, in the clinical studies, showed many more benefits for the mind in mice, and like they did better in like the step-down latency test compared to like the other color macas. It increased daily sperm production, which is ridiculous. The other red maca didn't do that. Yellow maca did very little. But red maca like helps the prostate, while this didn't really do anything for that. So what the deal is each color of maca has a different set of secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are components within the plant that protect it from insects and stuff like that, but it does very beneficial things to the human body. And when you grow maca, if you were to take like a square foot of it, only 6 to 8% would be black maca, 80% would be yellow maca, and like 10 to 14% would be red maca. So this is very rare. This is why it's more expensive. So in the fields, we sometimes separate this stuff out. The yellow maca is a mixture of all three in those ratios. We'll put this in the next set, just for the nutrition, and you know, it's good for balancing hormones in girls, and so if you're a guy, trust me, you want to do things like this. Okay, so here we go. The secondary metabolites are the positive, all these clinical studies like balancing hormones, the yellow did that, they use the gelatinized. It's the secondary metabolites that make these things happen in the clinical studies. So what happens is when you do this gelatinizing process, you remove all the excess space, and you make these secondary metabolites, you crack the cell wall so they become more bioavailable. Furthermore, since you're removing all the dead space, like if you were to take a bag of raw maca versus gelatinized maca, you probably have like 2 to 4 times more secondary metabolites in there that are more bioavailable. So it's good for balancing the hormones that gelatinize, and for the daily sperm production if you're doing black, or for the prostate if you're doing red. But if you want to build muscle mass, or you want the energy of the plants because it's not broken down, it's in its raw, and you want the enzymes and stuff like that, then you want the raw maca. Me personally, like, I like the gelatinized maca. I like to get those benefits. Was we blended the cocoa water, 3.5 cups, 3 small handfuls of almonds, 1/4 cup of mesquite powder, and 1/8 cup of carob powder. And we're going to throw this all, in a nut bag. And here's the end result of this. It's starting to melt. It just doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So what we do is we take a nut bag. I'm actually going to take 2 nut bags because they start ending up with holes and stuff like that. See how this works. We're going to take 2 nut bags and we're going to put it in here like that. And then we're going to pour this all into here. Okay. And then we strain it all out. Now, when we do the high glycemic option next, what would happen is you wouldn't end up with as much pulp in here. Hey, Crystal, maybe you can also post the questions from the live page on Skype here, because I can't really go back and forth since I'm got my hands all hooked up here. So what we have to do is strain all this out. And while I'm straining this, because it's going to take a couple minutes, is do I make and eat kefir? I would do coconut. I don't personally make it. I don't have any like issues with health. I don't need it. Just by being on a raw food diet, you are feeding your beneficial bacteria to where they are making so many short chain fatty acids. It's crazy. It's the roughage, the fiber that they feed off of. So if you're eating salads every day like I am, I mean, that's like the ultimate prebiotic right there. So I don't find it necessary. It's really good for people who need to rebalance of leaky gut and are coming from poor diets. And you know, it's good to eat anyways if you're on a raw diet if you want to, but I don't see it being necessary. So the health benefits of the 2 powders that I'm using, we're using mesquite powder and carob powder. Oh, I'm going pretty fast with this. Mesquite powder in clinical studies has been shown to help with, you know, blood pressure and cholesterol levels. But the main benefit of both of these is when you use this instead of sugar, you're not spiking insulin like you would if you're doing sugar. It's the refined sugar that is extremely damaging to the body. So when you use something like this, the main benefit is you're not getting the downside of the refined sugar. It's actually more important what you don't eat than what you actually eat. You can eat raw foods until you're blue in the face, mesquite powder, carob powder, but if you're going to McDonald's 3 times a day, guess what? It's not ideal. So if we can slowly start replacing stuff, like getting over sugar addiction and using things like mesquite powder, or even if you're like on the standard American diet, the coconut sugar is like a way bigger improvement. You could be doing that. But there's some people who have diabetes issues. They want to just eliminate sugar completely. I mean, we've had people come to our raw food retreats here at the rawfoodretreat.com, and they were healed from diabetes, like a serious case of diabetes. One guy had peripheral neuropathy. He healed in 2 weeks. He was like a week and a half, actually. His blood sugars, he was taking his tests and all these other things, was on 25 antibiotics, went down to 3 within a 2-week period. Actually, he was here he came a week early and a week later. So within a month, he came down to like 23 pills, 25. He was on like 3 before that, so like 22 pills he got off of here. Okay, anyways, here we go. We're still blending this. Okay. We're doing the low glycemic option of ice cream right here. Xylitol is sweeter too. I'm not really I'm not a big fan of sugar alcohols. Xylitol sometimes upsets people's stomachs. I'm not opposed to it either. Okay, so there we go. Let's see what else here. Maca is a root. The ice cream you are eating looks icy, not creamy. Is it really like ice cream? Oh yeah, this is not icy. You kidding me? What happened was, you probably saw a piece like, anyways. This is like professional ice cream, guys. When you freeze regular ice cream in the freezer, we're talking like Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And if you were to put it in something like this where it was overflowing and you put a lid on there, you would have the same experience without a doubt. If it's been freezing for, it turns into a rock. No matter what, you have to wait for it to defrost. So now what we have here is something that's been defrosting. Look at it. That is not icy. You will see as I continue with this recipe. Anyways. Look at this. I'll get that piece that fell back in. Okay, so here we go. What is the next step of the recipe? Yeah, I get it. So then you can save the pulp for crusts and stuff like that. So now what we have here is this liquid. We strained out everything. We're gonna post the recipe, so if this isn't something you wanna watch, you can get the recipe later. Okay, so the next thing we do is we take a cup of coconut meat and put it right in here. So here it is. I had a bunch of coconut meat, but my little beautiful girls got to it. And so I have frozen coconut meat here because we go through so many coconuts that it's crazy. So here we go. This is like a crazy amount of coconut. Everyone can see, yep, our new setup set. We have everything here. The way I do this is I take my zombie knife. Okay. And I just cut it off. Like that. We drink so much coconut water here in this household from these green coconuts that you just saw over there that we did earlier. I just popped off the top and screwed it off. And we end up with all this extra coconut meat. So what we want is a cup of coconut meat. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put this all in here. And I want it to be exact. So what I'm going to do now is get some type of pusher thing there. This is a Norwalk. You wouldn't have to do this if it wasn't frozen. I just want to make sure it's a cup and not more or less or whatever. Okay, so perfect. You take the cup, and you add it to this thing right there. Okay, we're doing the low glycemic recipe first, everybody. Okay, so now here you have a choice. So the next step is, and this is the secret ingredient actually, one of the secret ingredients that takes it to the level, I mean all of it is, but it takes it to the level of ice cream consistency. And what it is it's not coconut oil, it's coconut butter. What this is right here is like coconut shreds put in a stone grinder, and turned into that. So what I'm going to do, you can either do a cup of this. We actually have this at cost. The GoPal's coconut butter is the best priced one. It's on our website, therawfoodworld.com, discounted right now. 1/2 cup. I'm going to do this and 1/2 cup of cashews. So I'm going to do half and half of each. Look at that. Look at that. It's just like pure amazingness. And keep in mind, what we're making makes an entire pint of ice cream. Maybe even more. This is a half cup, yeah. You could just use a cup of cashews if you don't want to use coconut butter. So people that are nut allergic, you can do this recipe without any nuts whatsoever. You can just do a cup of this, or we're doing a half a cup of this. We're going to throw it in here. And then what you do is you add a half cup of cashews on top of that. Bam. So there we go. So the next step was a half cup of coconut butter, not coconut oil, and a half cup of cashews. So you use young coconuts to get the meat. Yes, exactly. Unless you're in Florida or a place like me, you could use these coconuts too. You can use the thick meat also, that's fine. Coconut butter and oil, the difference is the oil is kind of pressed and taken out. This coconut butter is the meat, everything. It's pretty much, they take coconut shreds, which is coconut meat, and they stone grind it into this. So it has, they're not extracting the oil, it's the entire thing. All right. So then the next step, if you want, you can put 2 teaspoons of vanilla powder. But in this recipe, with what we're doing, you don't even need that. Okay, so then if you're doing the high glycemic option, you would put 3/4 more cups of agave or sweetener, so it's kind of high glycemic. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 3/4 cup, a half cup of mesquite powder again. Maybe a little bit more. And then between 1/4 and a half cup of carob powder. This is the low glycemic option, everybody. Okay, so it's like that. Bada bang, bada boom. A little bit more, just a bit. Okay. And then, this was the end result right here. It's been sitting out for a while. And then you blend it for a long time, it says. What I'm going to do, for ease purposes, is put it back in this blender. Okay. And then where'd that lady go? There it is. So you're supposed to blend it for a good amount of time to get to this consistency. I mean, if you're doing the powders that we're doing here, and there is some cashews in there, probably doesn't have to blend as long, but we're going to blend it for a good amount of time. Oh yeah. Okay. I added 1 cup of frozen meat. Yes, you go here real quick. Okay. At the beginning of this hangout, people on news.therawfoodworld.com/live were stating that the sound is choppy. I'm trying something different right now to where you can like see everything and stuff like that. I'm gonna get a lavalier mic in the future, but are you guys still having issues hearing me? Post your comments, I wanna know. What we're doing right now is blending the final version. We've put all the ingredients in, you've got it all. We're gonna make more flavors after this. And while this is blending, I'm gonna go get some lucuma powder. Let me find that guy. You're supposed to blend this for a long time, so this is a good time for me to find it. Okay. This is lucuma powder. It's not in our fancy bag. Sometimes we just get it straight from Peru and bring it over here. This is what it normally looks like. Okay. Let's see if anybody was saying about the quality of this. Okay, so the next step, the next step would be to take these ingredients. Look at that. It's like ice cream batter. This is the low glycemic option. And if you have an ice cream maker, like I do right here, this is a Cuisinart. This makes exactly a pint. I think it's a pint. So this fits the ingredients that I stated for you from my raw ice cream making friend would fit perfectly in here. However, this makes a lot of noise, and I'm not going to do that. Plus, it's not even that great. It doesn't even bring it to complete ice cream consistency. But it does stir it as it does freeze, and then you just throw it in the freezer, and it's ready to go. I could do it, actually, and then just bring it into another room. Maybe I should do that. Okay, so the other option that most people are going to do, what I usually do myself, the other option is to take a container like this. Container like this, and then you just pour it in, and what you do is you put it straight in the freezer, and then every 30 minutes you stir it, or you can actually just shake it. You'll probably want to stir it because it starts to kick up on the edges, and then before you know it, turns into ice cream after you freeze it. You could probably just throw it in the freezer and let it go. It's going to taste good, but it's good to like stir it every 30 minutes or so. Not the entire 24 hours every 30 minutes, but you know, just in the phases, the beginning phases. You get a lid, So what we're gonna do is put this in the freezer and then stir it. Oh man, what's going on here? Every 30 minutes. And since I have excess, we'll just throw it on top of the ice cream that's already in here. It's the same stuff. Oh man. And now what we're gonna do is make his original recipe and make it high glycemic. This was a low glycemic option for everybody. Okay, I've had enough. This is probably good for muscle building too, with all that coconut in there. Coconut is a very healthy fat. And then we're gonna throw this in the freezer, both of them. I'm gonna look for one lid just to make sure. Anyways, that's fine. I'm gonna go throw these in the freezer right now. The next ice cream that we are going to make is right here, vanilla. Let's see how this is going. Okay, so the sound is cutting in and out. Next week, I'll have it much better for you guys. We tried a new episode. Look at this. Does that look icy to you, as someone was saying? This is straight from the freezer. Straight from the freezer. This is the one we're making right now. If you want to impress your friends and family, this will do it. This will literally make them think that they're eating real ice cream. You did a low glycemic. I should have showed you that. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, man. Tell me that's icy, straight from the freezer. It's not completely frozen yet. Okay. So this is what we're making now. Okay. Compared to the one we just did, this is like a different arena. This is like you're having your family dinner. This is what you want to do. That other one is ridiculous too. You guys saw me picking out on it. Anyways, so now we're gonna make this. Woo! And here we go. Issue is, it turns. You saw how that was white. If I were to use this one, this blender right now, it would turn brown. It would take away from it. So I just got to clean this real quick. Where else is the water in here? Let's see what's going on. The sound thing kind of hurts my sound coming in and out. Okay. Okay, so YouTube stream is working fine for me, not as clear as Facebook. So if you want to go to Facebook and type in Map Monarch to go to my profile page, you can watch there also. We've got people watching on both things also. And it's more clean. My phone has a better microphone than this probably. Okay, what about raw cacao? I thought raw cacao was better than carob. Okay, so here is a secret to cleaning blenders. First we gotta just you put water in, and then you blend it. that was clear everything out. Okay. If you climb the lid. Okay, so raw cacao versus carob powder. Now the plate is completely clean. And I don't have to worry about the color changing. Our water here is purified like crazy, so I don't have to worry about all that crap. Excuse me. And we go like that. And what we're doing now is making the same recipe, the original recipe right here. So what we need is 3.5 cups of coconut water is the first step. So cacao versus carob. This is our cacao powder. We've got cacao nibs and all those other things. Yeah, I mean, it depends about the situation. Cacao can be good in moderate quantities. There is a stimulating component. 3.5 cups, almost there, almost there, almost there. There is a stimulating component of the cacao powder, but most people don't experience that. For those of you that were watching the Peely Mousse food demo from a few weeks ago, this is it. I didn't bring it out to the girls until 2 days ago. They didn't even know it was there. And look what happened to it. This is the peeling mousse where you don't need a stone grinder to make the peeling mousse. Let's try it. This is straight from the refrigerator, not the freezer. Peeling nuts are the highest fat in the world, nut with the highest fat in the world, and it hardens in the refrigerator. This is like mousse. How is it sticking in the refrigerator like that? Oh man, it's like a brownie cake. No, it's like mousse. This is mousse, peeling mousse. I did this. Shoot. I did this in a couple hangouts ago. Just go to the previous hangout. You don't need a stone grinder. All you need is a blender. And it's the same sweeteners, oh man, that we just used for that last ice cream recipe. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that was good. Okay, so we've got 3.5 cups of coconut water. We're putting it in. And then 3 small handfuls of almonds. And for those of you who want to know how much 3 small handfuls of almonds are, if you're allergic to almonds, you don't need this. Plus, we're blending it and straining it. It's like a nut milk. This is about 3/4 cups of almond to a cup. And then 1/4 cup of agave. We don't have agave here. I have honey and portocarpus as my option. This is what I would choose for health purposes, but then it tastes like honey. Like it's sweet and it's good. That's what I was just eating. It's ridiculous. But if we want to like hit mainstream people to make this ice cream like the original way it was, then we're going to want to use agave, or I want to say coconut crystals. Coconut nectar is good, but it's not as dense as agave, and it has like a syrupy, it just has some sort of taste. Let's test it out. I haven't had this in a while. We're going to experiment real quick. So agave is is the original recipe, but this is from years ago. I got this recipe. This wasn't even available at the time. Let's try a little bit. try this guy. This is the coconut crystals. We carry all the stuff on our website, therawfoodworld.com. Woo! Dude, I'm not used to sugar. I think I want to go with this because it's more, but you're supposed to do liquid. But this right here is like sugar. We want to hit mainstream here, so we're going to go with coconut crystals. Oh, man. Woo! I'm flying tonight. Good thing I'm going in the sauna after this. 1/4 cup of coconut crystals is what we're going to call for. Now, I eat coconut crystals here and there, but it's not like a staple in my diet. So I'm just doing a little bit more to make sure it's a 1/4 cup. Okay. And then we add 3 dates. What we're about to do is get the best dates you have ever seen on the planet. Let's get them. These dates, I just took them out of the freezer, are from, we have them on our website. They were, we literally just ran out, and the farmer picks them from the trees and brings them straight to our warehouse. So what you're about to get, if you order dates, I'm going to see if he, because we just ran out, I'm going to see if he responded yet. Here he did. I think we can get you get you close to 50 boxes of these guys. Can you have Karen pick up tomorrow afternoon? Yes. So what he said in that email was, I think I can get you close to 50 boxes because I have to go out there and pick them all right now for you. So Cameron is going, our warehouse manager is going to pick them tomorrow afternoon, straight from the tree, dripping wet, to our warehouse. And then if you were to order, you can get this fresh batch. And these were just in the freezer. What you will get a bag just like this, and then you open it up, and then you have these majolies. I had a bunch sent out here. I mean, they're wet. These are medjool dates, the ones that we sell on our website. Fresh ones straight from the tree are coming in. This is straight from the freezer. You can't do this straight from the freezer with normal dates. Straight from the freezer. For days they've been in the freezer. Look at that. So we put 3 dates in here. These are the dripping wet dates that I've been talking about nonstop. They will literally arrive at your place wet and dripping. Like, they're ridiculous. And they're the biggest medjool dates on the planet. Let's try some. And they're at cost right now. They're on sale on our website. Oh man. Good for breakfast, whatever. So if you get a box, they're even more discounted. And there's 10 of these bags in a box. Anyways, that's what you would be getting. Therawfoodworld.com. These are not dates like you get from Whole Foods that are like hard as a rock. And they're like this big. This is the real deal. Straight from the trees, being picked first thing in the morning. Okay. Okay, so those are the dates, and I'm controlling myself not to have more. I have control. So what we have is 3.5 cups of coconut water, 3 small handfuls of almonds, which is about 3/4 cup to a cup worth, 1/4 cup of coconut crystals, and 3 medjool dates. And then what we do is we blend it like this. Then we got nutmeg bags for the next step. Not that one. There we go. There we go. Let's see if there's this too. This one, I guarantee, is going to be ridiculous. I mean, they're all really good. Okay, so what we're doing now, let's see if there's any going on. Oh yeah, I've been making peely nut and hemp seed milk. It's amazing. Did you use plain water or coconut water in this recipe? I used coconut water, but you probably could get away with regular water. But you're gonna need the coconut meat anyway, so use coconut water. Hey Matt, everyone in Chicago is loving the B12 patches that we have. Everybody knows about those. Okay. So I never finished about the cacao versus carob. So cacao is stimulating, and depending on who you are and how clean your diet is, will determine its impact and effect upon you. For a guy like me, who's been on a raw vegan diet, unwavering in not even the smallest amount, for 20 years, if you guys watch my last hangout of me eating raw cacao, because I was partying with everybody, I was eating crazy amounts of raw cacao, I was flying. I was on fire. Like, it was insane. And then it was like being drunk. I went in the sauna, everyone was like, what is up with you? Someone wrote hashtag chocolate wasted. But anyways, I was eating a lot, don't get me wrong, but still, for a guy like me, it's like a stimulating thing. But if someone who drinks coffee all the time and they eat cacao, it's like an improvement. They won't even feel the effects. So it kind of depends on, for me, it's like a hardcore thing. I couldn't do it every day without feeling it. Okay, so what we have here is this mixture. And we're gonna throw it in the nut bags, like this. That smells good. Now, if you want to, you don't have to use coconut sugar. I used honey in the one that I was eating now. It just has a very strong honey taste, but it's much healthier because honey is just like a major superfood. It has so many actives in it, enzymes. People heal things by putting honey on their skin. It's just really good for you. And the high glycemic aspect probably isn't the most ideal, so in moderate quantities is good. But me personally, I would prefer to eat honey. But we're going for the best tasting ice cream on the planet. We want to impress your brother, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your friends who say to you that you can't eat healthy. What are you talking about? It doesn't even taste good. My brother ate some of this ice cream. He was blown away. He's like a Ben & Jerry's addict. Not addict, but loves it. This did the job. All right, any more questions? In the high glycemic recipe, did you use 3 dates plus honey? If so, how much honey? In the one I ate just a minute ago, I did 3 dates plus honey, but what we're doing right now is we're straining everything out so everything doesn't, like the fiber of the honey, I mean, the fiber of the dates are gone, the fiber of the nuts are out of there, it's like a nut milk. This is like creating a base. This is like how we get the chocolate, not the chocolate, the ice cream consistency. This is like the ice cream base right here. And then we're gonna throw more ingredients in a second once we get all the liquid out. But if you wanna use honey, you would have put a 4th cup of honey in here with the 3 dates. I'm gonna give this to a friend who lives right over there in the house next door. And, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I can believe it. You will not believe it. So here we go. What's the best detox drink? It depends. Okay, so the best detox drink would probably be green vegetable juice or carrot, beet, cucumber for detoxing your liver. The beet just detoxes your liver like crazy. But the ultimate detox is to eliminate refined sugars and processed starches. Detox is kind of, there's a misconception there. You don't like take something to detox. Detox is when you eliminate something from your intake completely without exception. For example, if someone drinks coffee, they go through withdrawals. They're detoxing the coffee. Detox is just another fancy name for going through withdrawals. So the best way to detox is to eliminate crap from your intake. Eliminate refined sugar, eliminate, and then you're gonna go through detox and you're like, I don't wanna go through detox. Because you're gonna be like shaking like a heroin addict wanting sugar. Or coffee, you get the coffee breath, you get the coffee headache. You can't even go anymore. So it's like, do you really want to detox? Then let's do it. You gotta not eat vegetable juices are the best detox drinks. They also rebuild and nourish the body. They replenish the body. It aids in that, but it also has a very cleansing effect by removing like mucoid plaque, but uncoagulated bile from the liver. It just cleans everything. But it's best to do that when you eliminate other junk at the same time. Okay, so here we go. That was the first half of the recipe. Now what we're going to do is add 1 cup of coconut meat to this guy right here. What time are we at here? 9:15. Okay, so where is that coconut meat? It is right over here. Take my zombie knife and go to work. So what we're doing right now is getting a cup of coconut meat. We have it frozen. I was gonna not use frozen coconut meat, but the girls kind of sabotaged it and ate it all. But the frozen is fine. We're making ice cream. Here we go. So we got a cup of coconut meat here. Let's make sure this is a cup. A little bit more. And then you just throw that right on top. There we go, so much. Okay. And then we're gonna put this back in here. I'm gonna throw it in the freezer. It's already 9:15. I'm not gonna make any more recipes after this one. There we go. Just gonna close that up. Okay. Put this in another bag. Put that in the freezer. Okay. And then we add 1 cup of coconut butter or cashews. The coconut butter is going to take it to another level for our family and friends. I usually do half of each. I might do a little bit more of the coconut butter this time because I want to impress a friend over there. So first off, let's put the half of coconut here. We have coconut butter on our website, the same exact brand at cost. We have the dates at cost. Here we go. Our at cost specials, what we do every month, we bring at cost specials like key items, like staples. For example, we just brought March's at cost specials. We've got the truly raw almonds. We've got these cashews, which are the best cashews in the world. Hazelnuts, all at cost. We talk to our vendors. We're like, hey, if we put your product on our website at cost for the entire month of March, we're going to sell way more than we normally would. Can you give us a discount? Normally the markup in retail is 30%. Can you give us a further discount if we get hundreds of pounds versus ordering 24 or 48 like we do to keep in stock? And they say, yeah, we'll give you an extra 30% off of wholesale. So then we can give it to you at the normal cost. That's how we work it. And then every 6 months, what I do is I get the key staples that everybody uses in a raw food diet. We're talking about superfoods, herbs, supplements. The B12 patches are at cost right now. All of these different things. Let me do a little bit more of this. And then the next month we do something else. So within a 6 month period, we go through everything. And it's kind of good. For example, the best mineral supplement in the world is the Kinti Central product. We're actually not allowed to offer this at cost because there's a minimum advertised pricing. But this is like the biggest deficiency in the US is minerals because the soil is completely messed up and there's no RDA requirement for minerals, so it's not doesn't even go registered by hospitals or anything like this. But this will give you every mineral that your body needs. It's 30 miles in a box. It's called Kinti Essential, Q-U-I-N-T, Essential. You want to get the 3.3 one, it's more potent. And then you just take one a day for a month. Or you could do it you can make it last 3 months and do it every third day or something. But if you're deficient in minerals, this just takes it right back to where it needs to go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sneak. I'm going to put it at cost until February 20th on our website. Tonight I'll do that. No, I'll do it right now. I don't know if they're awake. I'll do it right after the hangout. Crystal, can you email me to put Kinti Central at a lower price? As long as I don't advertise it and things like that, they won't really see what I'm doing. Unless someone watching this hangout. I sometimes do this and nobody's ever got me in trouble yet. So Kinti Central. But anyways, back to this at cost special thing. Within a 6 month period of time, all the key superfoods and foods that you need would cycle through. So people usually order monthly. And what we do is, like, for example, right now, we brought March's at cost specials a week early. So people could take advantage of February and March at the same time. If you want to be notified of the at cost specials, you just go to therawfoodworld.com and join our newsletter list. So what I did here was I did about 3/4 cup of coconut butter and 1/4 cup of cashews. So then the next step would be add 2 teaspoons of vanilla powder if you want, or vanilla extract of some kind, but I don't have that. It's not really necessary. It just brings it to a more vanilla state. I just don't have it, so I can't do it. It might change the color a bit too. And then 3/4 more cups of agave nectar, or honey, or whatever you're using. I'm using this guy. I'm impressing my friend who just got off of standard American diet sugar, well, for the most part, and is trying to improve his diet. And this is going to make him very excited because he's going through major withdrawals. I've been feeding him chocolate balls, raw food bars, all sorts of things. Shoot. And this will help him out. So we're going to put 3/4 cups of coconut sugar. This is a 1/2 cup. And so then we need another, oh, this is gonna change the color anyways. Oh, dude, this is gonna be so good, it's gonna be ridiculous. This is just like Ben & Jerry's we're making right now. The other one was more for low blood people who don't want to eat a lot of sugar. This is healthy sugar compared to like refined sugar. There we go. And then blend for a long time. What we're gonna do is put it back in here. Maybe I'll do the ice cream maker this time. Who's gonna clean this mess? Okay, so we go like this. And then, where is it? Okay, there we go. There we go. And now I gotta blend this for a long time. Let's see if there's any more questions before I. Is coconut butter the same as manna? I think so. What would it be like if you didn't strain it? Don't use almonds then. It's like the liquid base. I don't know what it would be like, but it's like part of the process. What's a good substitute for cane sugar? Coconut sugar. Or if you want to take it to the next level, eliminate sugar completely for 2 weeks so your taste buds reset, and then do things like mesquite powder. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? The final step. Squeeze on over here. The question was, can you use coconut shreds instead of meat? That'd be like using this. You could use cashews instead of meat, probably. That would work. Cashews instead of coconut meat. But then you're going to want to use a cup of this. Okay, the question is, what do you use lucuma powder? Lucuma powder is kind of similar to mesquite in terms of like the low glycemic aspect, but it's a Peruvian fruit and it has like a shortbread taste to it. It's like really good. It almost has vanilla. I should probably put some in here. Let's put some. I didn't have vanilla powder, so I could just put some of this in. It's not as sugary tasting as mesquite, but it's got like a shortbread taste. Let's try it right now. You gotta blend it for a long time for the ideal consistency. It's just another superfood that tastes really good. That chocolatiers use, just raw food bar makers. It's really good. It's awesome. I'm not going to use it though. I'm not going to use it for this one. I'm going mainstream here on this ice cream that we're making. Okay. So clinical study was done on this, where it actually helped with lower blood pressure and cholesterol and stuff like that. And it tastes really good. Same with mesquite powder. Same thing. Now, that being said about chocolate, when a guy like me takes it, it's a much different feel than when somebody else takes it. So there are benefits from eating cacao. It is considered a longevity superfood. But if I were to eat it in the quantities that other people eat it in, I would have more adverse effects because I'm more sensitive. It's kind of like this. If you were on the standard American diet, and then you went on a cooked whole foods diet, you eliminated refined sugar, McDonald's, bread, processed starches, you do that for 3 years, and then you were to eat a McDonald's burger or Domino's pizza, you might vomit, you might get sick, you wouldn't feel well. And if you continue to do that, those foods would be more damaging to you compared to your friend who eats them on a consistent basis. So me, who has taken it super far for 20 years on a raw food diet, and if I were to go and eat the amount of cacao that another person doesn't, I can't do it like for me to get the benefits, I'd probably eat like a bean or two a day, probably a bean. And then I'm not gonna have the adverse effects, it's just eating a small amount. But if I were to eat the amounts that I was eating last week, every day, that would not be a longevity superfood for a guy like me. But for most people, it's really great. There are magical components in cacao, chocolate. Lucuma powder has a shortbread taste. Lucuma. Someone's saying, when you blend the Vitamix for a long time, does it get hot and therefore cook the mixture? I could be done with it now, actually, but no, it's still cold. I had frozen coconut meat in here, plus the mixture isn't thick, like when you blend certain other ingredients, that when it heats up here, this is pretty done. I'm pretty much done with blending. Okay, so there we go. So real quickly, I'm gonna run through the entire recipe, both of them. This is the mainstream recipe that we did. This is gonna be ridiculous. What we put in here was 3.5 cups of coconut water. You could use the Ojai coconuts. We added 3 small handfuls of almonds, which equates to about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of almonds. We added a 1/4 cup of coconut crystals, right here, or coconut sugar. We added 3 large medjool dates that we have on our website that are ridiculous, that are being picked tomorrow morning and brought to our warehouse in the afternoon. Crystal, can you remind me to make sure I tell Cameron to get the dates? And then you strain it, those ingredients we just said. You could use the pulp for another recipe. And then what you do is you add 1 cup of coconut meat to the strained mixture. You add 1 cup of coconut butter, which we have at cost on our website, and or cashews, which we have at cost on our website. I like to do half and half, so 1/2 cup of coconut butter, 1/2 cup of cashews. For this one, for my friend, I did 3/4 of a cup of coconut butter and a 1/4 cup of cashews. And then you add another 3/4 cups of coconut sugar. Let me just look at my soggy recipe, make sure I didn't miss anything. 2 teaspoons of vanilla powder if you can swing it. And then you blend it for a long time, and then you can throw it straight in the ice cream maker. So now if you want to do the low glycemic option like we just did, it doesn't have chocolate. You could do chocolate, or you could do, what we're going to talk about is you can either do chocolate or carob for no chocolate. But this is low glycemic even though it tastes high glycemic for some reason. And it tastes ridiculous. Everyone's been eating it like crazy. You take 3.5 cups of coconut water. You add 3 small handfuls of almonds, which equates to 3/4 of a cup to a cup of almonds. And then you add a 1/4 cup of mesquite powder. And then on top of that, you can either add an 1/8 cup of carob powder or cacao powder. And then you take that mixture and you blend it. Still not hot. And then you strain it with the nut milk bag. I like to use 2 nut milk bags. And then you take that mixture, put it back in the blender. And then what you do is you add a lot of the same ingredients. We didn't put dates in because we're going low glycemic here. You can put either a cup of coconut butter or a cup of cashews. I like to go half and half. Or you could do 3/4, quarter, whatever you want. You add a cup of coconut meat. If you don't have coconut meat, you could do coconut butter. I know you could do cashews, instead. But make sure you use a cup of this, coconut butter. So you would use a cup of each instead. Then you can add vanilla powder if you choose to. Oh no, you don't even need it. Then the sweetener is a 1/2 cup of mesquite powder, and then a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, in between those two, of either cacao powder or carob powder. If you're using cacao powder, you can probably just do a 1/4 cup. Carob powder, you could do in between the two. Did I miss anything? No, that's it. And then you blend that. Then either types of these mixtures, you put in a container, like a glass container like I had. You put it in the freezer, and then every 30 minutes you just stir it. Get it off, scrape the edges, get it all in there, mix it up. Every half hour for a few hours, and then you just let it go. And then boom, you have ice cream that you're gonna absolutely love. And someone was saying mine looked a little icy. It wasn't. But if yours is a little bit too icy, then you're probably doing more of, like, for example, earlier, I probably went up more than a cup of coconut milk, if that makes sense. Just do the exact ingredients, you should be good. But it's not icy. And let's see what people are saying. Hey Matt, will you ever sell ice cream beans on your site? We actually did that one time, not ice cream beans, but the first recipe I made was low glycemic, and this recipe that I just made now with all this coconut sugar is higher glycemic. Compared to like ice cream, Ben & Jerry's, it's low glycemic. For your family and friends, this is low glycemic. For me, it's high glycemic, so I don't eat much sugar at all. You can soak the cashews if you want. I didn't do it. Any other questions? And what I'm going to do now is just put this in ice cream maker right here. I'm going to break this up. Put this here. Get this going real quick. I usually don't use an ice cream maker. I usually just put it in the freezer like we were talking about. There's the lid to this thing. Yeah. And what we have is the best ice cream on the planet. It's that simple. I brought both out earlier, not to even them like crazy. It has the perfect consistency. Your family members, your friends will think that you could put it in a Ben & Jerry's pint. Dump the Ben & Jerry's and put this in, they will literally think that they are eating Ben & Jerry's ice cream. The ice cream, there's no better raw ice cream recipe on the market. How long does it take you to keep it in the freezer until you eat it? It depends. It took me a long time today. I don't know, I think some freezers work better than others. Anyway, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna use the ice cream maker. Now the ice cream maker doesn't bring it to frozen consistency, but it brings it to a point where you can just put it in the freezer without having to stir. So what will happen in about 30 minutes, it takes about 35 minutes, and this thing turns around. Here, I'll show you. It just makes a lot of annoying noise. You have to listen to that. I'll tune out anyways right after this. You put it in here for 35 minutes, and then all of a sudden it starts going, because it can't go anymore, because it's too thick, and it kind of stops. We have more questions? Am I going to post a recipe? Yeah, Chris, you've been taking notes, right? What would you do for a liquid diet? What kind of ice cream maker is that? It's a Cuisinart ice cream maker. How much fruit do I eat in a day? I've completely cut down on sugar. I eat strawberries, a lot of strawberries every day. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn this on. And then we're gonna pour this in, right there, into the slot. And it should be the perfect amount because the quantities we put in here are for a pint of ice cream. And it's cool, we used to sell them in pint little containers, ice cream containers. Like a real pint ice cream. Look at that, it's perfect. Perfect. This is gonna be ridiculous. Oh, look at this mess. Without an ice cream maker, how many times do you recommend mix the mixture every 30 minutes? You could literally just take it out of the blender, put it in the freezer, and just let it go. It's best to mix it for the best quality of ice and things like this. You want to scrape the edges. If you want, I mean, these are expensive ingredients. I would go every 30 minutes. For as long as you can. Maybe do it every 45 minutes. And then once it starts setting and as it freezes and you're good. People are saying it's a quart and not a pint. Whoa. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to turn this off for a second as I close out here. Okay, so what we just did, I'm telling you, this is the best ice cream you can possibly imagine. This is like professional ice cream. It was being sold in the Ojai farmers market as professional pint ice creams. The girls here could not believe the consistency when they were eating it today. It is, what we just did today is the best raw vegan ice cream on the planet. And now you can make it at your own home for fairly inexpensive. The coconut butter, which is a key ingredient, is at cost right now on our website at therawfoodworld.com. The coupon code RAWFOOD7 gives you 7% off of our entire website on an ongoing basis. You can always use that coupon code. We're never taking it down. That will take care of shipping. And the more you get, the more it takes care of. But it usually handles shipping minimum. Plus, everything's like at 30% off a lot of these items. The dates are too. If you want to be notified about these hangouts, go to therawfoodworld.com, put your email in the newsletter list space, anywhere at therawfoodworld.com. We are going to soon be I do live hangouts every Tuesday. I'm going to start doing interviews with doctors and experts and stuff like this, probably every Wednesday night. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm setting that up. We have our raw food retreats. I will make this ice cream at the raw food retreat. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so the raw food retreats here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador are off the hook. The March one just sold out. I think we have one more room available. The next one is in June. It's more than half filled. The next one after that's in December. That's about half filled also. What else? Main thing is probably to get on our newsletter list. Then you're notified about all the new superfoods that come around. For example, we just came out with the guaje recently, which is really good for women in menopause. It works differently than maca. It's just kind of something new to show you what we're doing here. And when we have fresh dates that are coming in tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, we have fresh mid-roll dates coming straight from the trees. And I showed you in this food demo how crazy those are. Yeah. I'm starting up Instagram again very soon. We're probably going to start going so after the March retreat, which is March 18th. So just tune in and see what's going on. Thank you for tuning in to this live hangout. That was a lot of fun. You just learned how to make the best raw ice cream on the planet. And yeah. The name of the minerals that I'm putting on sale is Quint Essential, Quint Essential. I'll do that right now after I get off. Yes, please have the recipe. All right, so I'm going to plug this ice cream maker back in. I'm going to finish off. And thank you once again for tuning in, guys. We're calling it quits. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. And then over here.